welcome to Meeting Malcolmus, a pavement podcast.
Hey, it's JD here, back for another episode of the pod that ended 2 months ago. But here I am back in action, on the saddle, on the horse rather. You don't really want to be in the horse unless you're doing one of those gags. And even then, you need the right partner to do that gag with, because pulling off the double horse costume is very, very difficult. Trust me, someday I'll tell you the story. How are you doing, motherfuckers? I hope you're well. I hope everybody is avoiding the monkeypox. I have been, just devouring bananas, so I'm worried that I may have become infected by this terrible new sickness. What is going on in this goddamn world? First of all, the flu shuts down the planet, and I'm not saying the flu in a derogatory way. I know a lot of people died, but it's so funny that you would think, after watching like Contagion, that it would be a sickness like that makes you explode after 30 seconds or something like that, or pus oozing out of your body or whatever, but ultimately the thing that fucking crippled us, shut us down, and here we are now in an economic downturn, was, the symptoms are the same as a cold. It's crazy. I would have never guessed that. Obviously, way more harsh than a cold or the flu. I know a guy, and his name was Chicken, and he was called Chicken because he was a chicken farmer. And he's from my hometown, and he was in the hospital for like 3 months on intubator, or whatever it's called, the thing where it's, the tube down your throat to help you breathe, to make you breathe. So fuck, be well, Chicken. So I'm bearing the lead here because I am fucking still so amped over what I was managed to pull off. This has been just great. My friend Matt was recently diagnosed with ALS, and I believe I've talked about it on the show. One of the things that he wanted to do was, he's a giant Pearl Jam fan, and he's got tickets to see them in Toronto in the fall, but he doesn't think he'll be able to walk by then. And so he's really doing a Carpe Diem, tour right now. And I got to do a leg of the tour with him, and we went to Vegas. And it just turned out that the timing that we were going to Vegas, Pavement was going to be playing in LA on the Monday that we were coming home. So I changed my ticket from flying back to Toronto to flying to Vegas, and I found a $29 ticket. Who does that? It was fate. It was meant to be. So bought a couple tickets to Pavement, met up with Tim from Portland, and we had a fucking great time. We had a great time. We met up before at a place called The Well. It was, no, it was really good. It was, my old man eyes were, a little darkened. It was difficult to see, but it was suitably hip enough, and it had a jukebox. And the jukebox had Pavement on it. So Tim and I lit up the place with some Pavement, crushed some edibles, and drank a lot of beer, and then went to the Fonda to see our favorite band play. And they just did not disappoint. It was, I don't have the words. It exceeded all my expectations. And I went in with pretty high expectations because the only other time I saw them was in Central Park in New York. And that was just wonderful. It was magical. This was different though. They were tight, but loose, they were having fun. And, I got to tell you, the Mini Mekons played at the beginning, and they were great. But where we were standing, we could see stage right. We could see stage right, or stage left. I don't know. the one that would be on my right hand side if I'm facing the stage. So that would be stage left. Yeah, I said it right the first time. Okay, so you can see Spiral and Mark and Bob in particular rocking out to this band before they played. Bob was so animated and surprised, right? He's always animated, but he was just fucking enjoying himself, and I was too. It was great, great music. Reminded me a little bit of a band we have in Canada, or we had in Canada, called Spirit of the West. Real like drinking songs, chants and drinking songs, and no drums, a couple guitars, an accordion, and some great vocals by the Queen of Punk, she was called. I forget her name right now. Sally is her first name. But really tremendous, just tremendous. And it made it more fun that the guys were having so much fun watching. So I almost synced up with Spiral and got into a sound check, but I fucked up and didn't text him in time. And shame on me for that, because that would have been a real hoot. But who knows? Maybe another time, another place that'll happen. I'll tell you, Tim and I sat in Denny's. We went and took our old man bodies to Denny's and just talked about this show. And at one point, we likened Steve West. Westy was fucking on, man. He was on, and he was in a groove. It was almost like he was so tight and so with it that you didn't notice. You know what I mean? Like, and I likened it to watching a really great baseball game when a pitcher's just in the groove and you don't notice how good they're doing, and then all of a sudden it's the seventh inning and it's like, holy shit, they're pitching a no-no. That's crazy. Managed to get a set list. Tim from Portland hooked me up with a set list. Now, the set list, looking at it, I posted it on Twitter and Instagram. Started with Our Singer, then went to Frontwards. This is from the set list. I've got the actual set list as well, because it's a little bit different. And I'll tell you what's different. Let me just open that up. Okay. So, Our Singer was the first song. Frontwards was the second song. Embassy Row was the third song. The first time they played it since '97. Now, that's not too surprising because, well, I guess there would have been two tours after that. There would have been Terror Twilight and the reunion tour. So, yeah, that's a bit of a while. Then they played Blackout, then Trigger Cut, then Spiral took the stage and did Canal District. Then we got Spit on a Stranger. And Trigger Cut was so cool. It was how they introduced the keyboardist, because the vocal part at the end, she sang it, and it was so fun. It was so great just to hear her voice cut through. And then at the end of the song, they were like, Rebecca Cole on keys. And she didn't get the shout out that she should have. There should have been an applause break when she started singing, because it was so different than anything we've ever heard. But anyway, then we got, like I say, Canal District, Spit on a Stranger, Gold Sounds, Transport is Arranged, first time since '97, Serpentine Pad, first time since '96, Motion Suggest, first time since '96. Then we got Two States, The Hex, Shoot the Singer. Then we got Grounded. Oh, that was great. Yeah, that was on my list. Then Harness Your Hopes, Silent Kid, Cut Your Hair, Type Slowly, first time since '97, Perfume V, Famed Thrower, first time since '93 they played Famed Thrower. So that's insane. Then Range Life and Folk Gem. And that's what they ended with. 23 songs. And that's very correct. That's the actual and printed on the set list. Now, it gets different with the encores. Shady Lane was the first song that they came out to on the encore. Then they did Unfair, and the fucking place erupted for Unfair, man. They were electric. They were hopping. It was was wonderful. Then I went to Grave Architecture, Major Leagues, first time since '99, and then closed out the show. So we thought with Summer Babe, and it was funny because I was in my head. I was like, what else can they fucking play? Like they've touched so many different things. Like we got Watery, we got maybe Debris Slide or Box Elder representing some of the older stuff would have been nice, but I had no complaints with this set list at all. None, not a one. And then their second encore, they have listed that they were going to do Stereo here in the mouth of the desert, a desert, and then Wichita Toe. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment. But yeah, the second encore was here in Wichita Toe, and I just happened to get that second encore for you. So why don't we give that a spin right now? Listen to that second encore, which is here and Wichita Toe. We did not get Stereo or In the Mouth of the Desert, but I have no complaints. And when you hear these two songs, you're going to be going batshit crazy because this was great. So light up a spliff and put on some good headphones and give this a listen. This is here on Meeting Malcolmus, a Pavement podcast, live from the Fonda.
I was dressed for success, but success it never comes, and I'm the only one who laughs. She jokes when they are so bad, but your jokes are always bad, and they're not as bad. Join us in a prayer. We'll be waiting where everything's ending here. All the stereo-stricken defense and empty dark you cast away. you so much, everyone. We'll see you in September.
And that was the end of our night. That was what we got. And I'll, like, full disclosure, no clue what that song was. I was like, getting out of the theater thinking I had to look up a song called Nora. I wasn't familiar with the song, but I fucking loved it. It had enough of a Pavement feel to it. I haven't listened to the original song, but I feel like, they gave it a Pavement arrangement, with Steve's voice and Steve's guitar sound, like the tone. It felt Pavement-y to me. There's a moment where it ascends, and it's, the guitar is sort of ringing out, and then there's that chanting, and it's just it was so good. It was, yeah. I sound pretty fucking dumb right now. And also I sound like shit because I don't have my regular recording equipment here. I bought a laptop to do this for you. So I'm going to return it. I'm not made of money over here, but yeah, am using just AirPods, and yeah, I just listened back and it sounds sort of shitty. So apologies. I also won't be running it through the thing that I typically run it through to make it sound better because I don't have that on this computer. Anyway, that's that. So the song for your edification is called Wichita Toe, and it's a Jim Pepper original. I'm reading this from a website. Songwriter and saxophonist Jim Pepper adapted the song Wichita Toe from an ancient peyote chant that he learned from his Native American grandfather. Wichita Toe was first recorded by Pepper's group, the short-lived Everything Is Everything. The group's producers arranged Pepper to express his Native American heritage in the music and helped him work out the arrangement in English translation. To this day, Wichita Toe is the only hit in the history of the Billboard pop charts, reaching number 69 in 1969, to feature an authentic Native American chant. Brewer and Shipley first heard Everything Is Everything's cover of Wichita Toe on Clyde Clifford's legendary Beaker Street K1090 coming out of Little Rock, Arkansas. KAAY's cult status was forged in the late 60s when after 11 p.m. each evening, the station abandoned their standard top 40 format for 3 hours of underground music with the program Beaker Street. KAAY's nighttime AM signal, 50,000 watts, extended its reach to much of the Midwest and as far away as Canada and Mexico, leading to its nickname, the Mighty 1090. Brewer and Shipley tuned in to listen to Beaker Street as they were traveling to gigs all over the Midwest. It's understandable that Brewer and Shipley would misinterpret some of the lyrics listening to Wichita Toe on their car radio that night. The irony is that they got all the Native American lyrics right, but misheard the adapted English lyrics. Michael Brewer explained that while we were traveling all over the heartland late at night, that Clyde Clifford's Beaker Street would be one of the only things we could get on the radio. And Wichita Toe was getting a lot of airplay, and we just loved it. So it looks like there's a Brewer and Shipley version, and then there is the Everything Is Everything version, and there's some lyrical differences that you can investigate in your time. You know what? Let's listen to the original Everything Is Everything version if I can track it down. I'm going to push pause here and try and track it down. And if you hear Wichita Toe by Everything Is Everything after this segment, you'll know that I was successful.
What a spirit feeling springing round my head makes me feel glad that I'm not dead. Wichita, give me a Nico, hey, 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 no one. Wichita, give me a Nico, hey, 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 no one. Wichita, give me a Nico, hey, 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 no one. Wichita, give me a Nico, hey, 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 no one. What a spirit feeling springing round my head makes me feel glad that I'm not dead. Wichita, give me a Nico, hey, 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 no one. Wichita, give me a Nico, hey, 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 no one. Wow.
Oh, I love the sax in there. That's good. That's good. It's too bad Pavement wasn't touring with a sax player. Wouldn't you love to hear some sax player on Debris Slide? Debris Slide! That's my sax impersonation. Hey, I did find it, and there it is. Isn't that fucking a lifting song? That's fucking great. Pavement, even selecting cover songs, does a great job. Jesus Christ, I can't believe it. Okay, so that's what I got for you this week, other than a bit of news here. Still doing the JD birthday pod list. Twa. I can't roll my R's well enough to say twa the way it should be said. I'm just not there in terms of my French. My daughter can do it perfectly, though. It's insane, like how well she can roll her R's, and she has a great French accent. It's a Canadian Quebec accent, and the Quebec accent is a little rougher, though. It's not the. It's a little growly, or I don't know. Maybe my shit's kicking in here. But anyway, if you've got a song, and I've started reaching out to specific people who've done this in the past, get it ready. Get it ready. Pavement or pavement adjacent songs. I'd love to have at least 10 to put out a pod list in July for my birthday. And I think that would be a blast if you would do that. So that's number one. Number two, thanks to Dan from London, he has done some legwork and found a place for us to meet in Porto on Saturday the 11th, I guess it would be, right? Saturday the 11th of June. A meeting spot in Porto for Pavement fans. We can talk about the concert from the night before, which will have happened. If you're interested in joining us on this jaunt, send me an email, jd@meetingmalcolmus.com, and I'll get you set up at the location, and we'll go from there. Once things are a little more solid, maybe I'll do just a quick shout-out episode and let you know where that is, or maybe we'll even record that roundtable. Who knows? Anything is possible in the world of magic, as Doug Henning once said. So there's that. That's what I've got for you. It's been a blast, as always. These songs were great. The concert was great. The pod list is going to be fucking great. And motherfucking Dan from London kicking all sorts of ass, finding us a venue. Jesus goddamn Christ. We're going to have some fun in the next couple of weeks. Cannot wait. Those of you who go to Barcelona, please send me an email, jd@meetingmalcolmus.com, with set lists and comments when the show is over. Looking forward to hearing from y'all. Take good care. And until then, wash your goddamn hands.
Meeting Malcolmus, a Pavement podcast, is a weekly affair. Connect with JD at jd@meetingmalcolmus.com. Please support the pod by rating, reviewing, or sponsoring us at meetingmalcolmus.com. And hey, I'm social. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Meeting Malcolmus.